Okay, this was a special request video for why I dropped out of graduate school. So I thought I would start with why I wanted to go to graduate school in the first place. I wanted to go to graduate school. At the time I was working a typical 9-to-5 job, but I felt like getting a graduate degree would enhance my job opportunities in terms of promotions and the amount of salary that I would get for the jobs that I worked. Mind you, the job I was working at the time, I thoroughly enjoyed. But I wanted a graduate degree because I just felt like it would help my work situation. And in addition, I was just bored. I was bored intellectually. I have to be stimulated mentally. Like I can't just go to a job every day. No ma'am. Like that, it was driving me crazy and I needed more. And so I figured, okay, I just go to school, and while I'm going to school, it'll help me and make more money and be stimulated and what have you. So that's really why I wanted to go to graduate school in the first place. So now why I dropped out. One particular incident really pushed me to where I was like, this is a joke. And I had been, I think it was my first or second semester. I spent 2.5 semesters as a graduate student. I was majoring in humanities, and I had a paper to write. It was the end of the semester paper, you know, the final grade. And we had individual consults with our professor. And during my consultation, I showed her my references. Now at the time, you know, I shared what I was doing and my paper, what it was on, with my boyfriend. And he just happened to be in a bookstore and saw a book and felt like it would help me. So he got it for me. Which was a very sweet thing to do. So of course I looked through it, incorporated it, because I saw some ties in between them. But when I showed the professor my list of references, she told me that some of my references I could not use. And the reason why she told me that was not based on objective opinion. It was based on her personal opinion of the author. She felt like the subject matter that the author spoke about, and I guess has been publicized to be in relationship to or with, in terms of content, she felt that, in her words, she felt he was a nut. So, you know, and me sitting there during my consult, I let her talk, but in the back of my mind, it was kind of like, you can't restrict someone's source. Now, if they use the source in a way that can justify their point, I feel, and a lot of the other students felt when I told them about it, like, you should be able to use it. You can't restrict some type of work that is out there just because you personally don't like the person or you personally don't agree with them. And so that was it. Like, that really sparked my head in terms of how serious is this? Like, is this like what? Like, you know, and then it got me to thinking, you know, okay, you have a PhD, but yet in order for you to get that PhD, you have gone through this process twice, to get a master's and to get a PhD, with this type of outlook, with this type of background, educationally, intellectually. Like, so that I was like, okay, this is no, this is not gonna work for me. It's not gonna work for me, because that doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna restrict my students from using a certain author or a certain book because I don't agree with them. Now, if they can tweak it and use the information that they got from the book and put it into their paper or their work and convince me, then what is that saying about the student and their mind, instead of me restricting them because I don't like the author? Like, who does that? So that was the first step of me starting to question what I was doing in grad school and what grad school was really about. The second reason was I moved out of the state while I was going to school, and my urge to get out of the city I was living in was far greater than my need for that master's degree, I felt. It just was in my gut, it was in my head. You know, and I tried the route of trying to move within the city just to a different area, and it just wasn't working. And now, you know, being in South Korea and having traveled across the country and then out of the country to South Korea, I now see the journey that I took, and I'm glad that I listened to it, brought me to where I am now. Because if I would have stayed, I would have been just another person with a master's degree and mad debt and not a better job, because there aren't really that many jobs in LA. So, you know, so basically it was, I listened to my gut, regardless of what everybody else thought. Everybody was like, what are you doing? And I just followed it, and I'm so grateful. So if you have a gut feeling, I would say just follow it. It's not for anybody else to understand. And the third reason was the debt. I'm already in debt from undergrad, and then I got more loans to go to grad school because I didn't drop thousands of dollars just, I want to go to school, here you go. No, so I got more debt. So I got $20,000 more in debt. Yeah, just rack it up. So you know, those were the three reasons. I was like, yeah, no, this is not working. This is not working, and this is not feeding me. I thought I was gonna be, you know, happy and fulfilled. Oh, I'm getting a master's. I'm gonna go to grad school and get some more letters attached to my name, and I'm gonna get a better job. I'm gonna have more money. I'm gonna be able to climb the employment ladder. Wasn't no ladder. Wasn't no climbing. And even though, you know, getting a graduate, I feel like, I will say this, if you are looking to get a graduate degree, if you're looking to be, let's say, a doctor or a scientist, okay, some of those fields you do need an advanced degree. You do, because nobody's gonna come to you if you're a doctor and you haven't studied. And I'm not saying that you need to go to a university, an established university that are out here. I'm saying that you do need to do advanced level work, because there's a difference between advanced level work and experience and just getting an advanced degree. Like, I'm the #1 person of not studying and passing classes. Like, you don't have to really know the subject in order to get a degree. You don't have to study day in and day out to get a degree, and you don't have to do it to get a degree from a high school or an advanced well-known school, okay? Because most of my time in undergrad was spent in the theater, the auditorium, for practice and rehearsal and show rehearsals and the lights and stuff planning. I mean, that's where I'd say 70% of my undergrad was spent. I went to classes and I did work, but you know, anybody, my closest friends would tell you, you know, Mia would just take a Sunday from every month and just do all her work in that Sunday. You know, just because you have a master's doesn't mean that you have mastered your skill. It doesn't mean that you have mastered your topic. And that's another reason why, now knowing what I know, getting an advanced degree, it's like, okay. The admission process for my particular school, which was Mount St. Mary's in Los Angeles. I applied. I had a reference from a former student who actually transferred from that school. And then I had an interview, and that was it. So basically, I got admitted during the interview. I guess they wanted to see if I was crazy or where my head was at mentally and what my future goals were, because once you graduate, you represent the school pretty much. And I guess they wanted to make sure that the people that were admitted into their program, once they graduated, how would they represent their program? I mean, it kind of makes sense. But it was a fairly non-stressful application process. Straightforward. You fill out the application, turn it in. You get your references, you pay the fee, and then you get invited to an interview. And then you start classes once you're admitted. Again, I was working a 9 to 5. The program that I was doing was the weekend program. So Saturday would be one full class, 8 hours, and Sunday would be another class, 8 hours. And that was their weekend program, which was geared towards working adults, which I did like. It served very, very helpful. And what advice would I give to someone who is contemplating either going to grad school or traveling abroad, teaching abroad, living abroad? I've done both. I've traveled abroad, studied abroad while in school. I've gone to grad school, and I've lived and taught abroad after grad school. So I can give insight to all three scenarios. And the hindsight situation 2020, I would definitely say, if you are not 150% sure what you want to do, what your life purpose is, not what you want to do to make money, not what you think is going to help you advance in this society, what you think people want you to do, what you think the trend is, and that's what you want to do, or they make a lot of money over here, let me go over here. No. If you are not fully aware and confident in what you want to do with your life, you need real life experience. You're not going to find that in a classroom in your city. The world, I say, is a classroom. And now, being 28 and going through my Saturn return, going through what some people may call the shift, all at the same time while being abroad, I would definitely recommend and suggest that if you have the opportunity to go abroad and it doesn't hurt anyone else, it doesn't hurt you, it doesn't jeopardize your safety, your health, then you need to go. I mean, there's really no other question, because let's just say this. Let's say you're graduating in May or June, and you're like, oh, I don't know what I need to do. Should I enroll next semester or in 2 semesters, or should I apply to go abroad? Well, let's just say, if you go to grad school, then you're in grad school and you're taking classes for, I don't know, 2-3 years, and you're tied to that place. They may have a broad program depending on your program that you're going to do. But that gives you a semester. And you have to wait for 2 to 3 years if you do want to go somewhere else or travel somewhere else. Unless you drop out. I mean, hey. Now flip it. If you choose to go abroad now, and you're like, okay, I've done it. It's not really for me. It was okay. It was fun. You can always come back and apply to grad school. So you're not really missing out anything. All you will be doing is postponing it. I mean, you can still go to grad school, but the opportunity to possibly learn yourself is the most important thing you will do in your life. Learning yourself and learning your purpose and understanding what this life is all about is it. Jobs will come and go. Money is meant to come and go. Family comes, some family goes. Friends come, friends go. Love comes, love goes, love flows. Everything about life is changed. That's it. So, you know, I just want to say, don't be fearful because it is unknown territory. Just approach it with an open mind. Knowing what I know now, I probably wasn't ready at 22 to be traveling the world because I felt like there were still things that I needed to do. You know, within society, get the graduate degree, get the money, get the, you know, nice little apartment, get a car, you know, party, hang out, you know, do the stuff that 20-year-olds are supposed to do. I still needed to do that at that time. I wasn't looking to travel at that time. And that's another thing. Your age may play a role in if you're ready or not. Everybody's ready at their own time. But if you are at the point where you're contemplating it and it's an either or, you need to go for it. It will also say, please make sure at such a young age that the program that you are accepting or looking into to teach abroad is a reputable program. There are so many opportunities, quote unquote opportunities, for teachers to come abroad. They get there, the school closes, the hagwon closes, they don't get paid. Like there's so many scenarios, and I don't want to scare you or put any fear out there, but I'm being very real. Literally 2 hours ago, I got a little cacao message. Such and such hagwon just closed and she's going back to the States on this weekend. I mean, it's for real. So you need to make sure that whatever program you choose is reputable. And I will tell you this, I am creating a website to help people because I've gotten a lot of requests and questions about this. If they are interested in teaching in South Korea. That's the country I have expertise in. I've done all of the paperwork and I've lived here for almost a year. So I feel like I am knowledgeable on all of the things that you will need to know if you want to come over here and after you get here. The site, there'll be, this is the name of the site. And I also offer ebooks. I'll have an ebook on everything you need to know from A to Z in terms of how to apply, where to look, answering questions that I've gotten, tips on what to pack, from packing, from hair to food to travel to money, everything is in the ebook. And I also will be creating another ebook, 100 days worth of activities. Now each semester is basically 100 days. So this ebook takes care of your whole semester for you. So it allows you to come here, not have to worry too much about planning. You may have to create some materials. So I'm making an ebook for other teachers because it will allow you extra time to focus on yourself and learn yourself. We'll be launching that soon. It'll be live and teach in southkorea.com. Right now it's live and teach in southkorea.weebly.com, but it will be converted. You can get there either way. So I hope that this gave a bit of insight as to my journey, why I wanted to go to grad school, what I thought it was going to give me, what I learned it wasn't going to give me, and how, you know, the opinions and the ideals of the faculty who are there to teach us encouraged me to drop out, and you know, the life lessons that I've learned since then. So I wish you lots of luck, and I hope this helped you, and good luck on your journey. Okay, so be well, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.